everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you a project I did as a collaboration with another person from the Gina B. Aaron's design team. That is Margelle from Shelley Studio. And she sent me some art. I sent her some art. She sent me some happy mail along with the art. And then each of us are going to use Gina B. Aaron's designs products to modify or alter or change the art. The idea is called Salvage My Art. This is a little bit of a slippery slope because if you give somebody a piece of art that you maybe didn't love that much and you want them to change it or improve it or give you ideas and they go and completely change it and paint over everything that you did, and then you're just like, well, what did you think, it was ugly or something? What, you know? So I've done this before with others, and I've done collaborations like this where I make a background and give it to someone else, and it doesn't always. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but this is what the challenge was for this month for Gina B. Aaron's Designs, and so that's what we're doing. So this is Margelle's piece, and it's on a piece of canvas board, and it has a lot of papers glued to it. And I don't know what she didn't like about it, but one thing that I thought maybe she didn't like was that it was very rough and bumpy, like the collage had dried in bumpiness, and it's also very bright and a lot of elements going on, a lot of crazy stuff going on. Maybe it was too busy, so I figured the first thing I would do is I would sand it. And when you sand collage, you can make it flatter, but it also does kind of give you a distressed look, which is really interesting. It also can calm down any harsh lines that might be there that you wanted to maybe not be so harsh. So I sanded it up, and then I need, of course, to seal it back down as much as possible. And instead of just going ahead and putting another coat on, I went ahead and made some glazing because also my color choices are really seasonally driven. They really are. And it's, even though it's still hot here in Arizona and it feels like summer, I know it's not. The light has changed. The way the light is has changed. I know that it's becoming fall, and I tend to go towards more warmer colors in the fall. That's just what I do. It's what I like, and it's just something, I don't know. Maybe everyone's not like that, but so I wanted to calm down the bright colors and the patterns, and so I used quinacridone gold, and I mixed that in with the glazing and brushed it over the whole thing, and then I blotted some of it back. Then now I'm using my finger and a little bit of unbleached titanium paint, and then also I'm going to use the quinacridone gold, which came out way too fast, but I'm going to use that too with my finger to just kind of blend things together. There was harsh lines, and I wanted it all to be more, I don't know, just more blended, more calmed down a little bit, because this is going to be my mixed media background layer, and then I'm going to put stuff on the top of it. So if your background is too wild and crazy, these are techniques that you can use to make them calm down a little bit. You can blend in some of the harshness by using your finger and some paint, and you can use glazing medium, which is just basically paint without pigment in it, and you can tint it whatever color you like, and you can also use that to kind of make everything feel like it's one tone or calm things down a little bit. So here are a couple things that I pulled out to use from Gina B. Aaron's Designs. She has an Etsy shop. The link to what I used, the link to her Etsy shop, all that will be below the video. So you just click that show more. Also, before I forget, I do want to remind you that I have a coupon code. It's SHEL, Shell 15. So Shell 15 is a coupon code that you can use on Gina's shop to get 15% off the products. So I got out one of the stamp sets, which my favorite stamp in that stamp set is a scribble words, and I stamped some of that randomly around the piece using archival black ink. That's a type of ink that when it's dry, it's permanent. And then I like this stencil that looks like a color wheel. And so there was these other circular designs that Margelle had put on there. I feel like I'm saying her name wrong. It's either Margelle or Margelle, and I'm never sure if I'm right or not. And then when I say it, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. So hopefully, she won't be mad. She won't be mad that I can't say her name right. We've never actually met in person. She won't be mad that I'm changing her art this much. Um, it's freaky and scary. But anyway, back to what I'm doing. I used some Naples yellow with that uh, color wheel stencil from Gina's store. And then I'm using this one, which is these little split circles. To me, they look like coffee beans. I don't think that's what they're called, however, but I will be sure to link everything that I'm using in the description box below so you can find the exact thing if you're really in love with it. And then for that, I used like a bright green paint because there was some of that bright green in the background and I wanted to bring it back forward again because things were getting kind of muddy. So then this is a new product that Gina has and I just got it. I haven't used it yet. And it is a acrylic guide for drawing a yin and yang symbol. That is a hard thing to draw if you've ever tried. It actually is hard to draw. And this has 3 different sizes. It's got a bigger piece, a medium piece, and a small piece to make 3 different sizes of yin and yang symbols. And you could also use it to draw a teardrop or a fish or lots of other things. It's just a guide. It has a circle on it, so you could use it to draw circles. It's a useful little thing. I saw it, and that symbol is meaningful to me. I think that it means balance between the forces of nature, which are really unbalanced right now, and that's how come we're getting some crazy weather. Balance in your life between your creative life and your have to life. Balance to me is just an important concept. Balance in your diet so that you remain healthy and you don't eat too much of things that make you sick. Just balance. I like it. So I was first going to draw them onto the canvas, and then I changed my mind and decided I would use them as a cutting guide. And I had these papers from a gel printing session that I did with Pan Pastels, and I will be sure to link that video in the iCard so that you can find it if you want to watch how I made these papers using Gina's stencil designs. They're all Gina stencil designs. I have this little box of all Gina stuff, and I just keep it all together. And these papers were in there, so I knew I could use them in the project. So I found a dark one and a light one, balance between light and dark. And I'm tracing and cutting out the pieces for my focal image here out of those 2 pieces of paper that have some stencil design on them. And so they work perfectly with the project because it's all about Gina's designs and Gina's store and Gina's design team. So now I'm going to stick those on to the piece using Liquitex matte gel medium, and I'm trying to get them centered on there, centered in from side to side, and then just a little bit closer to the top than the bottom because I'm going to put the word balance on there. And so I'm like trying to get them on there correctly so that they're centered. You know, that's a tricky thing too. Getting things centered is just tricky. Always is, no matter what you're doing. So I get them okay, and I straighten them and smooth them with old gift card or something, and make sure that everything is sealed down. And then I go ahead and I put some matte medium all around everything, the rest of it, to make sure that everything's sealed, like that ink and everything that I put on there. And I'm happy with that. I think it's fun. I think it's meaningful, and I like it. Yep, there I am putting more matte medium on there so that it's all sealed. Everything's sealed in for sure. Then I get out my Big Shot cutter, die cutter, and I have this strip alphabet from Tim Holtz Alterations. I don't think they sell this anymore, but they might. I'll have to go try to find the link for you if they still have it. But I'm taking those scraps left over from the black paper and putting them on to cut out letters. I need the letters for the word balance. So of course I'm going to have to cut the A twice because there's only one A on the strip. You know, it's a thing. But I do get there. I also am like adjusting my thing underneath to make sure that it's the right height. And I get my letters cut out and have to cut the A twice. There we go. You know how this works. It's a manual cutter, die cutter. I have lots of dies that go to it. So then I separate all the letters from their backs so that I can, and they don't want to come out. I'm not sure exactly why, but they're kind of finicky. They don't want to come out. And then I'm going to put those on my canvas with some matte gel medium. I'm using my little 6-inch straight edge to keep myself straight. So I make sure that it's straight with the bottom, and then I put the letters all along the top and let them kind of settle into that gel medium. And then I kind of press them down with a wet baby wipe, and then I go back over the top, make sure everything is sealed in with the matte gel medium and everything is pressed down good. I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, please remember to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment or question below. Go and check out what Margelle did with the thing that I sent her. And I don't know if her video is up yet or not. I have to go figure that out when I post this. But keep an eye out for that. Also, all the rest of the design team was paired up and they did projects with each other's art as well. And I know that Pegs is up because she was partners with Vicky from Messy Table Studios, and I saw her video, so I know that's out. So just take a look for that. You can use the hashtag Gina B. Aarons Designs. That's like at the beginning of the video. And you can come up with lots of design team projects from this whole year of things that we've done with Gina's designs and her products from her Etsy store. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already. And turn on your notification bells. That's pretty important for my channel. And share this, pin it on Pinterest, share it on Facebook, whatever you want to do. All those things really help out my channel. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding some shading. Whenever I do collage, I like to put shadows around the things that I've glued on there so that they don't look like they just are stuck on there, but that they actually had an intention and a purpose to be on the project. So I often use this Stabilo All pencil and a water brush to blend the pencil. I also pressed out a little bit of my acrylic paint from my Posca pen onto my underpaper and use the water brush to add a few highlights around here and there on the symbol and also on the word balance so that it stands out from the background a little bit. Just a few little highlights. So yeah, this project was fun. I enjoyed it, and I hope that everything is cool over at the Shelley studio and that she doesn't get annoyed with what I did with her piece. um, but it's a fun challenge to do, and I recommend you do it with some of your friends. Make some sort of a background and give it to them and see what they do with it. You'll be amazed at how your styles meld and how interesting it is. So that's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.